Will Fintech replace human advisors? Are financial planners liars? I mean, is Fortnite an alt? Doctor Who versus Star Wars? This is Craig Lemoine, co-host of the Land and Everything Else podcast, professor of financial planning at the University of Illinois. Today, we're going to put my CFP to the test with an autocomplete interview. Are investment advisors fiduciaries? Yes, investment advisors are fiduciaries. They're required to be prudent and skillful and always put your interests before their own. And all two ways of thinking about it. You've got exclusion and inclusion. Exclusion would say anything that's not a stock, bond, or mutual fund or cash is an alt, right? So we look at land or real estate. The other way would be inclusion. We'd create a bunch of asset classes and say these are alts. Personally, I like to go with the exclusion way of doing things, right? If it's not a stock, if it's not a bond, if it's not cash or an insurance product, it's probably an alt, and that's a good way to define the world around us. Are alternative investment high risk? Generally speaking, alternative investments have different types of risks than traditional ones. We worry a little bit more about liquidity risk. Your ability to sell an alternative investment may not be as easy as your ability to sell a stock. So they're not necessarily higher risk in the standpoint of risk reward up and down, but they do have extra risks that normal investments don't. Are investment fees tax deductible? Investment fees can be tax deductible in some circumstances, but it gets very detailed very fast. Is Fortnite an alt? Fortnite is a game, but it has an in-game currency. That in-game currency has actual value. Antiquated skins that aren't sold any longer have a value as well. As long as there's an asset with a value, we would consider it an alt. Maybe not a mainstream one, but that currency certainly is worth real dollars. Will Fintech replace human advisors? Fintech allows advisors to scale faster, to provide advice quicker, to do more complex analysis, and for some Americans, deliver some basic recommendations. Fintech is a tool. It's not going to replace financial advisors, but it may extend the scope of financial advisors to more of mainstream America, something that we've needed for a very long time. Are financial planners liars? I mean, there's always going to be a turd in the punch bowl. But at the same time, no. Financial planners, generally, we're looking out for your best interests. If you're going to work with a financial advisor, look for somebody who's qualified, certified, look for the CFP, Certified Financial Planner credential. And yeah, there's going to be bad apples from time to time. And the way that we can sort them out is looking at their history, look at their Form ADV, look if there's any filings and motions with the SEC. And over time, remember that a fiduciary does have your best interest at heart. Why are financial planners rich? I think financial planners inherently develop financial literacy over their training. They learn about credit and they learn about investing and they learn about risk management. And if you take those skills and apply them over a period of time, that does lead to financial security that maybe somebody without that financial literacy could struggle with a little more. Is wealth management a good career? I'm personally of the belief that financial planning, wealth management are incredible careers. You're quantitative, you're into numbers, there's a spot for you. You're into people and handshakes, there's a spot for you too. This is a wide, wide world, and there's lots of opportunities for everybody. Doctor Who versus Star Wars? I mean, are we looking at it from a combat standpoint? Because Doctor Who doesn't have a gun. Doctor Who doesn't have any kind of warp drive or space lasers. Doctor Who does have an amazing screwdriver, though. That's all I can say on the matter. Beanie Babies versus Squishmallows? You can take a nap on a Squishmallow. It's not even a question. A Beanie Baby's good for playing fetch with. What podcast should I be listening to? You should be listening to the Land and Everything Else podcast. You want to learn about alts, you want to learn about stocks, bonds, financial advisors, education, and even some random stories about dogs. We're for you.